Guess what? You've got an edge that you probably aren't even aware of. And it's not your success, it's not your accolades, it's actually your failures. Yeah, you heard that right. Your failures. They can actually be a phenomenal advantage if you know how to flip the script. And I know that this could sound a little radical, but trust me, the very setbacks that you are ashamed of or frustrated by might be the secret ingredients to your future triumphs. So today we're going to dig into how you can transform your past failures into your biggest wins. Hi, I'm Marci Shimoff. I'm a featured teacher in The Secret. I'm the author of the Chicken Soup for the Woman's Soul books and Happy for No Reason, and I'm creator of Your Year of Miracles. Now, over the years, I have had the amazing privilege of getting to help millions of people unlock their true potential and live more miraculous lives. And guess what? It all starts with your beliefs and your mindset. And I know you probably have heard that many times before, but I want to share with you some incredible stories that will show you how your failures aren't holding you back, but they're actually setting you up for something even better. So I want to start by getting really clear about one thing. Failure isn't a dead end. Think of it as kind of a detour on the road to success. The truth is that every single failure that you've ever experienced has been full of lessons and hidden opportunities. So let me tell you the story of someone that you've likely heard of. It's Rhonda Byrne. She's the creator of The Secret. And Rhonda was working as a TV producer in Australia. She had this really successful career, but behind the scenes, things were falling apart for her. Her father had just passed away. Her mother was very depressed. Her production company was struggling. And she didn't have the money or the energy or passion to really finish the products that she had already started. And she felt like she had hit rock bottom. And she said she just didn't know how to turn things around. Well, you probably already know how the story turns out. So this isn't exactly a spoiler alert. But before I finish Rhonda's story, I just want to simply point out that she could have labeled herself a failure and just given up. A lot of people do that. So if you've done this in the past, you're not alone. I've done it too. And what I know is that you can still choose to see a, quote, failure as the compass pointing you in another direction. So let me get back to telling you the rest of Rhonda's story. So during her very low point, she actually fell into a depression. And then her daughter shared a book with her that would completely change her life. And the book was The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And Rhonda was so inspired by the message in the book, the message of abundance, of positive thinking, that it sparked in her this idea, really this kind of vision that would end up becoming the film and the book, The Secret. So her failures weren't the end of her story. They really gave her insight, really kind of the insight and the drive that she needed to bring about this incredible message of manifestation to the world. Now, The Secret went on to become a global phenomenon. It changed millions of lives. I feel very honored that I got to be a part of all of that. And all of that really came for Rhonda from a place of perceived failure. And instead of giving up, she went to a place of not failure, but what's next. See, failure really can often show us gaps in our understanding. And when we take the time to look a little closer, we see where it is we need to grow. And I think Rhonda's story is just a perfect example of how failure isn't an ending. It's just the beginning of something that's more powerful. It's the universe redirecting you in another way. Now, here's where I think it gets really interesting. You get to decide what your failures mean. Yep, the story that you tell yourself about your failures is actually what determines whether they hold you back or they set you up for success. So it is time, if you've used your failures as the end point or as a really down point, it is time to flip the script. So I want to tell you another story, and this one is about Sarah Blakely. Sarah Blakely is the founder of Spanx, and you might see her now as she's, the youngest female self-made billionaire. But what most people don't know is that Sarah's journey was full of what most people would call failure. Before Spanx, Sarah worked as a door-to-door salesperson selling fax machines. I'm I'm not kidding you, fax machines. And I was also a door-to-door salesperson. I was selling Fuller Brush way back when. And what Sarah said is every day she faced rejection after rejection. She was constantly hearing no, people closing the door in her face. And it would have been easy for her to give up and think that she wasn't cut out for success. But here's what Sarah did differently. She didn't let the failures define her. Instead, she flipped the script. She realized that every rejection was making her stronger. It was helping her refine her pitch. It was sharpening her get back up muscle and her resilience. And like Rhonda, those failures were pushing her towards something even greater, a bigger idea that would change her life forever. And it was actually during that time of continual rejection that Sarah came up with the idea for Spanx. And when she tried to pitch her product, guess what? She got even more no's. The manufacturers didn't believe in her. They didn't believe in her idea. They turned her down left and right. But Sarah didn't let that stop her. She saw those rejections as she saw them as feedback. She didn't see them as failure. She saw this is feedback. These are clues about how I can keep improving my product and my approach. And so her ability to flip the script on what most people would think of as failure is what ultimately led her to create this billion-dollar business called Spanx. If she let those rejections define her, Spanx wouldn't exist today. And her story is just a great example of how you get to decide what those so-called failures mean. So I want you to think for a moment about a time when you faced rejection or you faced failure. And I want you to think, what story did you tell yourself about it? Was it a story of defeat or a story of resilience? And I want you to go further. I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, how can I flip the script? How can I reframe failure as feedback, as really this opportunity to grow into what is more right for me, what is more aligned for me, to find an even better path? Because when we start seeing failure as feedback and not as a reflection of our worth, then everything changes. Sarah didn't take it as a reflection of her worth. She let it fuel her next move. And you can do the same. So I aren't these like stories inspiring? And I can tell you that whenever I start to feel discouraged, I often look for examples of people who have overcome the odds or who have, powered through or felt their way past the rejection and moved into what's possible. And those stories encourage me and they keep me going. So if this is resonating with you, I want you to stay tuned because I'm about to reveal to you what causes most people to give up and how you can get over that. So stick with me because this is a key concept that can really influence the course of your life. So now that you're starting to see failure in a new light, let's talk about how every setback you face has that potential to set you up for something greater. And I'm willing to bet that you've heard this next story. It's about Madam C.J. Walker. She was the first female self-made millionaire in America. And Madam C.J. Walker wasn't born into wealth or privilege. In fact, she was born to former slaves, and she became an orphan at just 7 years old. And I saw this amazing TV series about her. It was so inspiring. She worked as a washerwoman, and she struggled to make ends meet, and she faced unimaginable hardships. And to make things worse, In her 20s, she started losing her hair because she had a scalp condition, and that hurt her confidence even more. Now, at this point, many people might have felt defeated and just given up. She could have seen herself as a victim, as trapped by the circumstances, as feeling limited by her station in life and how people defined her. But she didn't do that. Madam C.J. Walker did not see her current situation as the end. She turned her personal challenge into a source of inspiration and a way out. And she started experimenting with homemade remedies. And she developed a line of hair care products specifically for African American women. And then, she did that. Great, she had this product, but success still didn't come to her easily at all. She had countless obstacles in building her business. She had financial struggles, racial discrimination, skepticism, and every time she'd have a setback, it was just more fuel for her determination to succeed. And her initial failure to find a solution for her own hair loss, it actually led her to create a groundbreaking business that transformed not her life, but empowered thousands of people around the country. And she didn't just sell hair products. She gave women the confidence to see their own beauty. She offered jobs and opportunities for so many people who needed them. And her setbacks didn't break her. They set her up to be a trailblazer, a total pioneer. And she is an extraordinary symbol of perseverance and empowerment. And I just love how she turned her pain into her purpose. And she proved that even the toughest challenges can really be the foundation for our greatest triumphs. So think about those failures or setbacks that you've experienced. And what if they are actually preparing you for something greater? What if they are shaping you into the person that you need to become to achieve your biggest dreams? Now, the key is to keep on going, to keep on learning, and to trust that the universe is guiding you. It's got your back. It guided C.J. Walker. It guided, Sarah Blakely. It guides all of us if we listen and trust. So our setbacks are setting us up for something that we can't see. Maybe you just can't see it yet. Your job is to trust that it's coming. So here's a little recap. Your failures can be your greatest asset. They don't define you. They refine you. I'm going to say that again. They don't define you. They refine you. They are not holding you back. They are not holding you back. They are setting you up for something even better. And it comes down to your mindset and the stories that you tell yourself. So whether it's Rhonda Byrne, who turned her career struggles into this global movement of The Secret, or Sarah Blakely, who had countless rejections that led to the creation of Spanx, or Madam C.J. Walker, overcoming all kinds of adversity and creating this phenomenal product line, becoming the first female millionaire, self-made. So the message in every case is clear. Every failure holds the potential for future triumph. All you need to do is flip your script. So I invite you to look back at your own life. What failure can you reframe right now? What lesson or opportunity might be hiding from you in plain sight? If you can't see it, ask a friend to help you with it. And take one step today to turn that failure into your fuel for your future success that is waiting for you. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I've got a special gift for you to help you easily get into the energetic flow of miracles. And it's a free meditation. It's going to help you remove the blocks that get in the way of your own personal success. So go to meditationformiracles.com or just click the link below so you can get started. And I am here to support you. You've got this. So let's transform these past failures into the greatest triumphs ever. I am sending you so much love.